If you're an entrepreneur or professional and you struggle with depression, anxiety, productivity issues, anything of that sort, then click the link below, book a call. On that call, I'll give you free coaching, yeah, and help you solve that problem and get you rid of that problem for good. So yeah, just do that right now. Imagine this is your day. You wake up later than normal and you missed your morning routine, your journaling, your exercise, anything else you got planned. And this leaves you slightly out of place for the day. And so you go about your day, and at around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, about 9, 10 o'clock, you face another problem. One of your employees sends you an email regarding a project that's delayed. You scramble to solve the problem and address the issue, but that wastes more time and messes up your routine even more, causing you to feel stressed. Then later on, you're on a call and your internet just starts getting really disconnected and your laptop just crashes or your PC crashes, and this makes you feel absolutely embarrassed and ashamed to think, what are these people thinking of me? Because this has happened. This is absolutely shameful, embarrassing, humiliating. So that happens. Later on, a couple of hours later, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock, you're on another call. And this call was planned to resolve some issues with employees. But you start blaming each other. And you end up leaving the call in confusion and even more stress and worry. And so you go about your day, and about 2, 3 o'clock, you realize that a client that would have benefited from your services, would have bought from you, has gone to a competitor. And how does that make you feel? Makes you feel embarrassed. Makes you question your capabilities. It makes you question yourself. You start doubting yourself. That, what am I doing? Am I really capable of doing this? Am I really able to do this? Start questioning yourself, doubting yourself. Then later on, you look at your expenses, your costs, your revenue, and you realize that you've got some unexpected costs for the year, and your revenue is looking lower than normal, than you expected. Then obviously, as the day comes to the end, you go to the evening time, 6, 7 o'clock. You look back at your day, and you realize, what have I really done today? You look at your to-do lists, your list of to-do things, and you realize, what have I really done? I've just wasted my time. I've just been wasting time trying to set out fires, and nothing's really been done. Nothing productive has been done. Then later on, you realize that you went through your day without eating much, without hydrating yourself well, and you perhaps missed out on a family event, and that makes you feel even more worried and guilty. That, what am I doing? Why am I not taking care of myself? What's going on? And finally, when you're lying there in bed, waiting for yourself to fall asleep, you're worrying, you're stressing about what's going on with my life? What's going on with my career, with my business? What's going on? Like, look at today. Like, how am I supposed to heal from this? How am I supposed to overcome this? Like, what's going on? Where do I go from here? You're just confused and sort of mixture and a concoction of emotions, and you just don't know what to do. Think about that. Imagine that in your head. Now, this may be something many of you are going through. Many of you have it, with it, how often you have it, but you have it, you experience it, but you don't know how to do, you don't know how to deal with it, and you don't know what to do in that situation. Now, let me tell you what to do in this situation and how to think about it. What's the best mindset to go about it? Because this is common, but people don't know what to do. Entrepreneurs, professionals, they don't know what to do. And they think this is a very negative thing, and it holds them back and it just restricts them. Because you have this idea, it's a bad day. Yes, it is a bad day. You are going to have bad days. But the main thing is, you don't let it stop you in your tracks. You don't let it restrict you and hold you back from doing more and learning and growing and pushing from that. Does that make sense? And so this bad day will happen. This bad day will happen. But you got to be prepared to know how to deal with it, how to overcome it, how to not let things get in the way. Bad days will happen, but it's about how you push on from there, how you learn from these failures, how you learn from these setbacks and mistakes. How do you learn from them? What do you take? What do you reflect on? What do you think about? What do you ponder upon for you to not make them same mistakes that you made on that day? For you to not have them setbacks? How do you push yourself on from that day? Think about them things. Write them down and take action. That's the main thing. Take action in your day-to-day life. In your day-to-day life, you take action and you make sure that your tasks, you do them in the order, and you reflect that, okay, this task, this is what happened. I don't want to have that meeting again where I'm trying to resolve a problem with employees and they all start blaming each other. So you think about, how do I stop this? How do I stop employees from blaming each other? And how do I stop these arguments and debates? And how do I make sure we actually come to a solution? Find out these problems, these issues, these solutions. How do I figure out, how do I wake up on time? How do I make sure I do my morning routine? How do I make sure that I keep myself well hydrated, well fed, eaten throughout the day? How do I make sure my internet doesn't crash? Obviously, these things you cannot avoid. Internet will be bad sometimes. But how do I make sure it happens less frequently? How do I make sure my computer's working well? Think about these things. How do I make sure my costs are lower, my revenue is higher, and it hits the target that it needs to reach? And how do I make sure that my day goes well, that I've completed something? Because something is better than nothing. Even if you do one thing, that's still a win, that's still progress in the right direction. Does that make sense? So don't become despondent. Don't become despondent that I've had this day and I've only done a few things. Because those few things are the things that keep you going. They give you that momentum to keep going, rather than if you just did nothing. So even if you have these semi-bad days, still be grateful, reflective, and push on keep going. Don't ever stop and just think about all your worries. Well, think about your worries. Think about what you suffered, how you messed up, how you had these setbacks. But think about them in the way that you come to a solution, not to drown in the guilt and the worry and the fear and the stress and anxiety. You don't think about it in that way. That's the wrong way to think about it. But you think about it in such a way that you're strategic and you come to a solution. You come to a solution and you make that decision and you make those plans for that to never happen again. And so if you are struggling with these problems, you are struggling with these bad days, these failures, these setbacks, then feel free to book a call and I'll give you free coaching and I'll help you solve these problems. Free coaching, nothing to do with that one. So book a call and I'll see you there.